Hi, my name is Kylie. Welcome to the Education Equity Podcast, where we explore how critical approaches threaten the status of norm and look into the details of semantic inequity in education. Based on the research of Camerota, Stovall, and Kumasharo, we are going to talk about the important strategies of fighting oppression in our classrooms today. These scholars and educators have offered us frameworks that support social justices in education and confront systematic racism and empower students. So let's get started. Let's start by discussing Kumarada's work, which examines how practice might be included in teaching as ideas of culture creation, therapy, and organizing. It ultimately comes down to empowering underprivileged kids by addressing systematic injustices by combining theory and practices. The Social Justice Project in Tucson, Arizona is subject to Camerota's case study. Traditional disciplines combine the Chicano studies, critical racial theory, and critical education in this 2-year program. Through ethnographic research, students critically analyze their students' research, exposing differences in education system through the creation of cultural artifacts such as documentaries and things like poems. Cultural theory is one of the primary elements here in which educators and students attempt to understand and eliminate assumptions about culture that support inequity. It's about understanding the power at work, and especially in the ways kids' experiences are shaped by their color, class, and ability. In addition to critiquing the system, students in the project produce cultural productions, such as videos that go against current perspectives and promote change. They overcome the societal challenges they encounter and create objects through the phases of intervention, penetration, formalization, and recreation. Stovall's investigation of critical race theory in the context of schooling comes next. Stovall concentrates on Chicago's Umoja Leadership Institute, a community-based initiative that prepares young African-American students to confront structural racism and promote social justices. In order to emphasize how racism and race impact educational experiences, Umoja incorporates CRT, critical race theory. It provides students the means to confront systematic injustices that restrict their opportunities. Umoja's broad approach is one of the distinct features. It emphasizes not only the academics, but also the developmental of critical thinking, leadership, and positive identity based on African and African American heritage. Additionally, Stovall stresses that the community involvement, since parents, teachers, and students co-develop Umoja, is not established curriculum and therefore highly relevant to participants' real-world experiences. Umoja assists students in developing the self-efficiency necessary to take by promoting student empowerment and leadership within the program. Despite the difficulties as an opposition from educational institutions, the requirement to conform the institutional subjects, Umoja shows how community-driven strategies may transform education and confront racial injustices. Lastly, Kumasharo's story takes us to Nepal, where they are considered their spent time teaching the Peace Corps members. At first, Kumasharo believed their job was to help modernize Nepali education by bringing more American teaching techniques. However, they quickly discovered the customs they considered old were culturally meaningful and deeply rooted in the local environment. They criticized the unquestioned notion that American teaching methods are necessary better as a result of this experience. The strength of cultural imperialism and the way of Western education frequently forces its values in their cultures without realizing its harm. It causes what Kumasharo emphasizes here. They argue that norms that favor particular groups influence educational systems everywhere, including in Nepal and the United States. These assumptions often go unnoticed because they are considered common sense and allows a systematic impression to remain unknown. Kumasharo advocates for anti-oppressive education, which actively challenges social power structures in addition to increasing understanding of diversity. The goal to establish classroom environments where teachers address oppressive behaviors and empowers students to do the same. The book emphasizes that educators must reconsider their training, go beyond traditional approaches, and create inclusive classrooms where students are given tools they need to think critically about the whole world as a whole. Camarado, Stovall, and Kumashiro have demonstrated that overcoming systematic inequality and equity in education takes more than just a conceptual understanding. It requires action such as a praxis. We may all help with the removal of inequalities, whether it be through community organizing, cultural therapy, or critical analyzing our own beliefs about schooling. It's about giving students agency, questioning conventions, and developing educational spaces where it is heard and everyone is valued. That concludes it for today's episode. I hope you guys have a better understanding in which ways various educational approaches are taking a cultural or structural injustice and promoting social justice. If you liked our podcast today, please subscribe and come back and look at more environmental that are inclusive and equal, making you learn about that. I hope you appreciate it, and you can come back anytime. My name's Kylie.